All right. I forgot you're supposed to do it this way. Okay, hi YouTube world. I'm doing the full moon in Capricorn energy read. It's a heads up. Generally, I do this reading for my personal readings or individual zodiac signs. But today I will be doing it um for the energy reading for full moon in Capricorn. Hey, so just to let you know, I'll be doing the full Capricorn reading, and I want to go over some few notes right quick that I tapped into the energy, like astro notes, just to let you know that what I'm feeling, what I sense, what I think that is coming up for the collective. I'm uploading YouTube's individual sign readings as we speak, the remaining portions. I had one air sign left and the rest of fire signs. Okay. So just to let you know, they're uploading as we speak. So they should be up and rolling by the end of day. Now, how can I say? The full moon in Capricorn energy is basically asking us to have some form of cohesiveness in regards to the energy that we're experiencing in the Cancer season. We just had a Cancer moon transpire a couple of weeks ago, and it's now asking us to take charge in our belief system. Hey, it's asking us to take charge in our belief system. What are the subconscious blocks? What are the some subconscious ideologies that we have adopted that we need to allow to come up and finally confront? So we're doing this process of evolution within us, and really looking at what things need to be tweaked, what things need to be released, what things we need to carry with us that's actually helped us on our journey and like to power forward. Okay. And it's asking us to take responsibility for our actions as far as how we deem success, how we deem fulfillment. If that's what we see it as, whatever that may be, we need to actually apply it. And I'm looking at two screens. I couldn't put them together. I'm looking at IG and I'm looking at YouTube. And I think what better way to do it so that I don't have to do repeat messages or multiple uploads. I can do it all at the same time. Um, so again, there's some Uranus energy. I believe it's supposed to be in Taurus. And Uranus came in the Aries reading that I just did earlier today, discussing the spontaneity of life, that there may be a sudden wealth or a sudden responsibility, that yes, you have more wealth, but you also have to be responsible with that wealth. You're going to get more, you're going to obtain an inheritance. Like it may be some sort of sudden wealth can be in a form of inheritance where someone, crosses over. But what are you prepared for if you receive a lotto today? Like if you receive an enormous amount of an award or whatever, what are you choosing to do with those funds? How are you planning on allocating those funds? And to choose wisely as far as how you perceive how it can actually work in your good, in your highest favor. Okay. I've also got in the energy that we also need to accept defeat and surrender in certain instances. It's not always for us to, we deem success as always winning in a sense, right? Being competitive. But spirit is also asking us to surrender and actually lay our burdens down in situations where it just needs to stop. Once we surrender, usually those issues that we are facing, that we're dealing with, we're allowing and trusting that spirit will. I'm having a bad connection. Okay, sorry about that. It's my connection. Trusting spirit that everything will fall into place to an extent, because we still have to put in effort. But sometimes we have issues with control where we'll impair our relationships with ourselves as well as others because of our fear of letting go, of because of the fear of the unknown. And once we relinquish that control, we're able to let go, right? Free fall. I actually mentioned in one of the readings that some of us are being tested as far as being able to allow spirit to take control, or even trusting others in our inner circles as far as our intimate spaces, so that we can actually grow and heal certain traumas that we may have had, or certain things that issues that we had with trusting others. Those relationships are starting to get stabilized once we become vulnerable and surrender, surrender our energy to what spirit may have for us, whatever that may be, whether it may be a career, whether it may be a relationship in our, at the home front, because again, this is cancer season. So, that work life balance, surrendering what you usually do that may affect and spill over into your personal life, saying those things that affect you in your personal life, are you allowing it to spill over into your work life? So it's all these different dynamics that are really being addressed during this time. Okay. And if you have any questions, just let me know. I'm looking at the screen just to make sure I don't miss any of y'all, as well as I'm looking at YouTube too. So just thank you for your patience. Okay. Spirit also helped me realize that we're learning the word adaptability and cohesiveness, and we're learning how to operate in certain energy spaces that sometimes we are able to kind of overlook, and now it's time for us to actually confront them. So what I mean by that, the heart space kept coming up, specifically in the Leo's reading for July, but it was dealing with the vulnerability part. Okay. It's also dealing with the solar plexus. The solar plexus is dealing with the affirmation I will, because that's Leo energy as well, even though Leo rules the heart, but also that will and determination operates in the gut. Okay. And the mental thoughts also travels to the gut more than you realize as far as thinking. I mentioned that in a previous video about the solar plexus and its significance. But it's encouraging you to persevere in spite of what you may feel at the moment. That those times where you feel like I cannot hang on, I cannot persevere through these struggles, or what may be deemed as struggles, there's like that benefit on the other side, the wish fulfillment on the other side, if you just push through. So some of us are learning to surrender, and some of us are learning to push through. And surrender is not just complete surrender in the sense of you just gonna let everything just fall by the wayside. No. Surrendering is more so like subconscious beliefs. It's dealing with trust issues, I'm hearing. It's dealing with how you view yourself versus others in the world. It's how you view your finances. The lack mentality is, the first thing we think about is finances, but really what it boils down to is, do you trust? Do you trust that if you're operating in your purpose, that everything will work out for you? And that's really like the base chakra as well, because the base chakra, it talks about like your basic needs, your bodily needs, your safety, your security. You get what I'm saying? And if you feel like those things are not secure, you're less able to feel inclined to be in alignment to your purpose. Then you'll start looking in other avenues as far as, okay, well, I gotta hustle, I gotta get this bread, I gotta do whatever by any means, and all this kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? To be having 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 jobs. Um, and that's not to say that if that's what you feel to do, if you want to do that, by all means, go ahead and do that. You know what I mean? But spirit is calling us for us to be more strategic, okay, in that leap of faith. So if you are saying, okay, I'm gonna take a leap of faith, I finally want to do my passions, my dreams, I really want to fall in love, boo, 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 whatever it is, you have to have some form of strategy there. That's what that Capricorn energy is about. They're ruled by, I believe, Saturn. So Saturn is like the daddy of the planets, right? Saturn is calling for you to have order and organization as far as how you want to do it. So if you want to take a leap of faith, say for instance, if you have an existing job, okay, in 3 months, I plan to be out of here. In 2 months, I plan to have $5,000 saved so I can have something to, as far as my cushion. You get what I'm saying? So just different things. Some people, they do just take that leap of faith and just let everything go and just go ham. You know what I'm saying? And they may be successful, they may not. But in this energy, I'm not getting that you just supposed to just let it all go. Okay? I'm not getting that. And if you do, by all means, whatever resonates for you. Okay? So I know that's a bit much for that little first half, but I really got to get this out because it's like channeled messages. I know it looks like scribble scrabble, but it was just coming at me like, and I had to get it out. So I told you about the strategy in your leap of faith. Be more strategic, right? But I'm also saying that there are some retrogrades going on. Okay, there's a Neptune in Pisces retrograde, a Saturn in Aqua, okay, and Pluto in Cap. So there may be some fuzziness as far as the clarity. Like, are you seeing things clearly as far as those leaps of faith? Those leaps of faith. And sorry if I'm seeing that my connection sometimes is acting up on my Wi-Fi, so I don't know what's going on with that. But those leaps of faith, are you doing those leaps of faith in fear? Are there some things that maybe need to be addressed prior to those leaps of faith or prior to those new situations? I'm even hearing some of you are reconciling or consider reconciliation as far as your relationships, whether it's platonic or romantic. So retrogrades are for you to revisit things that or situations that you may have thought you have passed, in a sense, if you want to call it a test or a lesson, or if it's a thing where you're saying, okay, I need to revisit something that I'm not really getting. I'm not really grasping what I'm supposed to learn out of this. Like, what is the meaning of this? Why I keep dealing with the same thing over and over again? It's because you're missing something. So spirit is having you to revisit over and over again because you're not grasping something. One of the concepts, one of the belief systems that you're kind of overlooking. Okay. And it may not even be that significant, but it's significant enough for you to have to revisit it, right? It's significant enough for you to say, okay, maybe I need to put some stuff on pause and really think, right? And not think necessarily in the mind space, right? It's like the subconscious, okay? It's your belief system that you've adopted over time, and to really tweak some things that you may have and how you view life, okay? And let's see here. Let's see. This is what I found significant, okay? Capricorn, Capricorn's ruler is Saturn. It's a cardinal sign. And it rules a certain body structure, a certain body part. Each sign owns a certain body part, right? Capricorns rules the joints and the skeletal system, and in some instances like the teeth, joints, knees, bones, all that good stuff, right? Okay, so what's the foundation of your conceptions, your ideas, your dreams, your ambitions, your goals? What is it resting on? What is the foundation of your belief system? So Capricorn is asking you to really look at it and to see if it's solid. And if it's not solid, it is okay to tear it all down and build it back up again. Okay? That is not over. You get what I'm saying? That is not a finality. It's saying like, oh, well, I done screwed up now. I don't guess I'm gonna have to roll with it. No. This is the perfect time that if you need to make some adjustments, make them. This is a point in time where if you want to acknowledge defeat or surrender to the cause of what you're trying to, or where you're trying to get to, or where where your mind is perceiving as far as the end game, change it. Make modifications as often as possible if need be, until you get to where you feel like, okay, I'm good now. I can roll with this. Okay. Um, in life, things change. We may come across some information that may be pertinent to us at that given time. And then maybe next year it may not be valid. Okay. But the key into all of that is to acknowledge that and accept it and be able to let those things go. And sometimes it's not doing away with the whole program of whatever we believe, is sometimes just changing the perspective and tweaking it a little bit. Okay. So if stability may be a thing that is very important to you, what is stability? What does that look like? Right? How does that resonate? Because someone down the street may view stability as at least having a crib or a car and a stable income. Then if you ask somebody what a stable income is, how much is that? What kind of lifestyle will that reflect? Those different things is okay to evaluate, and whatever may come up, just acknowledge it and accept it, and actually embrace that change. If it's time for you to make those changes, make them. You can be in your 30s, 40s, 50s, 20s. It doesn't matter about that. We get hung up on the time frames. We're the ones that get hung up on the order of things, in the sense of, by my 20s, I'm gonna have that degree. By my 30s, I'm gonna have two children and be married. You know what I mean? We do that. We put those stigmas and those pressures. Society does that, but we allow it and accept it too. Okay. So that's that responsibility I'm talking about. That is causing us, for us to look more introspective. You know what I'm saying? Look inward in regards to how we view our life. Okay. And it's not about being preachy. It's not about none of that. It's not about none of that. Okay. It's just actually just taking it in, that this right here, it feels like a significant moon to me. It feels like a significant moon, where things that, if you do come to terms with certain things, releasing things and people, connections, whatever it may be, that it's more likely to stay that way. So if you solidify some relationships, like, okay, this is my partner, this is my boyfriend or girlfriend. Okay, this is my career move. This is, I'm sticking to it. It'll be more likely to stick. If the changes that you make now, those be likely to stick. If you've had issues in the past where you've done a lot of things, like thinking you're tweaking it and making changes, and it's not panning out the way you expect, and they kind of fall by the wayside, you're like, damn, I thought I did what I was supposed to do, spirit. Like, I thought y'all said that I was supposed to let that person go. Or I thought I was supposed to take a leap of faith and leave that job, and I still ain't getting the rewards of what you talking about. Those little frustrations that you may have, whatever you decide now, if you are sure, those things are more likely to exist and stick. Okay. And then you can build on that. So it won't be like, how something you put on the wall, and if you don't have the right amount of stickiness to it, it'll slide down. You'd be like, dang, I added this and it's still sliding down the picture frame or whatever. So those things may actually happen in the past, those things. But spirit is asking you to let go of how it was and what happened, as far as why those things didn't stick. Okay. And I'm hearing Uranus. So I'm not an astrologer, but something significant with Uranus on why some of those things didn't stick. Some of those things were part of the learning process. Okay. It's not always a quick blueprint of how we're supposed to master life, if we master life. and I want a cheat sheet to go through the whole journey of life so I don't have no hiccups. That it doesn't work like that. Okay. So I'm getting that some of you felt really challenged last year in the past few years where you felt like this stuff is not working. I'm changing different things and I'm not seeing the evidence of it. Make some changes now, and I guarantee you, like, you will start to see the fruition, the benefits of that. Okay. Of those decisions that you made concrete. There was a new moon back in January the 2nd in Capricorn. So you may actually see what intentions you set out back then now, because this is full moon. So it's like a full circle. So if you can remember, if you jot down some notes or you can remember the feeling of whatever you did back then, which was in January, your intentions, revisit that. There may be some significance, okay, during that time. Um, Pluto in Capricorn, Saturn in Aqua, I went over as far as retrograde. Saturn and Aqua will help those things stick. Pluto in Capricorn, those shadow beliefs, I'm hearing shadow energy. So those shadow beliefs that you have, the things that you hide in the dark that no one knows about, that you really don't believe you deserve love or you are worthy of love, if you really don't believe that those dreams or visions that you have for yourself can really come into fruition, sometimes we're in the background where we kind of like, I don't know if that I can pull that off. I legit don't know how. Some of us feel like that, but it's like we see this greater vision of us, but it's like, dang, how the hell am I going to accomplish that? And sometimes it's not called for you to actually know the hows, right? It's just to get started. So, example, me, I had these gifts all this while, since the beginning of time. I can remember I had gifts. I had it in the church. I left church, so I was like, I don't know if I'll be able to use these again for real. Other than, girlfriends, friends, whoever I would be in a relationship to help them, give them insight, and not necessarily say, like, make it seem like I'm getting it from somewhere. You know what I mean? Because sometimes when you get intuitive downloads, people like, where are you getting this from? So sometimes you have it in a conversation. You know what I mean? Like, I just want to kind of give you the heads up. You may want to watch out tonight because it may rain, it may be some accidents or whatever, or whatever inkling I may have had, and not know how to actually put it in reality in regards to just the public, the general public, as far as whoever resonates with me. And if I have messages, if I need to help someone along the way as far as being a guide, how would I use those capabilities? Because it was more than just coaching. You know what I mean? I knew that it was a greater gift than that, and not downplaying people's gifts as far as if they're able to coach. I'm just giving an example. Um, and so I was helping people, helping friends, as far as then I started, dealing with cards or whatever. And then I would hear stuff, smell stuff, feel stuff, all kinds of different abilities. And so I was like, dang, I'm more privy to spirit and, the elements around me than I realized. But I was still working full time. I had a good government job, if you want to say that. But I knew I wasn't meant to be there. And right before the pandemic happened, I had left my job, and I was getting these inklings and signs that I should leave and that this was it for me. After I put in my time, I said, I'm not going over this time. I always said this. I had a certain time frame I was not going over. If something didn't pan out the way I wanted to as far as this career, I'm leaving it alone and I'm going to do something else. And I was right on the mark of that time frame when I decided to leave my job. Now, I had hiccups along the way because I'm like, dang, I done left. I had the savings. Things happen. Um, and there was some hiccups along the way. You get what I'm saying? As far as what am I supposed to do with it? And long story short, I was like, I'm gonna do a business. So professionally, I've been doing it for a couple of years, but like as far as receiving money and all of that, you know what I'm saying? But in the past, I was just doing it for free, helping others, whatever I heard or whatever that needed some information or some guidance, I would give it, especially if they would ask. Not thinking, oh, I can actually use this as a career choice in a sense. So I end up doing this. Now I'm doing this fully committed. Excuse me, fully committed with both of my feet in. And as I go, my plan unfolds. But I set some things in motion, getting an LLC, um, getting business bank accounts, having a name. The name came first. That was one of the first things that came. The colors to the logo to all that, everything, the website, it started building. And I'm just using me as an example as far as probably how it may turn out for you, as far as those things, that leap of faith that you're strategizing, dealing with the practical matters of the strategy of the leap of faith. Okay. Um, and some of that is can be tedious, right? The responsibility of it, but it's mine. Just like whatever you plan on putting action into, it's yours. It's yours. So that's all I basically wanted to share. If you have any questions or whatnot, in regards to this reading, most certainly like jot them down in the comments or whatever you feel guided to. I do want to mention again the feeling of Uranus. I'm really getting like a spontaneous change, inspiration, and rebellion. So some of you may actually feel that need to just throw the stuff by the wayside and really do something for you. And that really ties into like generational attachments that I talked about. Some of us have been in this cycle of doing what everyone else does as far as your ancestry, as far as your lineage. And now some of you are waking up and doing something that you desire, that you love. And it may be deemed as a black sheep move or an anti move, you know what I mean? But you're doing what's best for you. You're finally accepting um the role of taking your life by the horns. You know what I mean? Running the course, taking the course as far as your path, as far as your purpose. And your purpose doesn't have to be all significant like that. It can be as significant as enjoying a purposeful life, enjoying peace and what peace look like, being selfish with your time, um, eating well, traveling. You get what I'm saying? We're all here for different experiences. Some of us are here to toil and to put in the work. Some of us are not. So whatever your purpose is, like to go in and do whatever you need to do. Like for real. Why not? Perfect time, right? Um just giving you a heads up. New moon in Leo will be coming up. Okay? That's about I will, the heart, the solar plexus. That's going to encourage you to bet on yourself and be brave, okay? Are you hearing that any specific changes will stick or specific ones? I've been on a health journey for a while and I'm curious if this is my time. Actually, yes, fitness is actually a perfect thing. So if you have discovered something that resonates with you more than others, so I'll give you an example. I realized me going to the gym 5 times a week, I was going in, okay? I was going in, but it really um yes. Matter of fact, one of my readings, you heard a loud ring in your ear about moving. Yes, you honor that feeling because I'm hearing relocation as well. And I mentioned it in some of my readings. Send me what your sun sign is. But in regards to deeply rooted in love, I was going to the gym like 5 times a week, like hard, like cardio and strength training, like weights. I was it's reconnecting. Okay. I was going in dedicated, but I was so exhausted afterwards. I was on this certain regimen. I was getting results, but I was so tired that I didn't have the energy to do the rest of what I needed to do for the rest of the day. Um, I would have my supplements, my vitamins, whatever. And strength training resonates with me, first of all. But I was realizing I was it was not for me to work out for 5 times a week. Okay. It wasn't working for me. So I realized that my yoga, my stretching, and focusing on, I guess you could say, circuit or whatever, where you're focusing or hit, I don't know, but basically I'm doing certain things and focusing on certain body parts each day, like I'm breaking them down. And even though I'm breaking them down, I'm realizing that I feel my core intact because I'm doing it in the right manner. I feel it in my back, I feel it in my arms, so I'm actually still doing a full body workout, but um I'm not, it's not as strenuous. So definitely, as far as workout regimes or regimens, I definitely see a change in that. If you do something now, like honoring, like say for instance, the example that I think I spoke with you about, where you may not need that one-on-one. It's simple as you going hiking. Okay. Is as simple as you saying, bicycle. I'm gonna get a bicycle. Okay. Or I'm gonna take a class once every week, a dance class or aerobics. Yes, it will stick indeed. This is a perfect time for that change. Okay, so you heard this loud ring in your ear about moving. Okay, let me see. Let me tap in your energy right quick, okay? If I have your permission, let me see. Okay, so um moderation. As far as even when you make movements, so you're more so saying movement as far as moderation. Is that what I'm getting? Because I have 3 cards for you. You can let me know in the comments. Queen, are you specifically stating in regards to movement, like literal body movement, or are you actually saying relocation? If you can clarify that. I'm saying about your story, moderation, because everyone can't do what others can every day. Being patient with yourself. Exactly. Yes. Moderation to an extent. Because I'm gonna be honest with you. Some of us have procrastinated on our development and our growth process. Yes. Okay. Workout story. So in a sense, moderation, yes and no. Um, with me, it was more so finding something that worked for me, where it wasn't necessary, because I can still work out 5 times a day, but what I was doing and how I was doing it, honoring my body, even though I was told, okay, this is the regimen you need to go by based on your body, go here at this certain time, but I had to, and this is a professional telling me these things, so I had to honor myself, and I, because I'm self-aware, because I know my body type and what I can handle, I was like, I need to um Okay, I got you. It was more so me as far as, okay, I need to make adjustments. If I don't feel like going to the gym, I'm not going to the gym. I'm doing something at the house. If I'm going to do something at the house, I'm doing this, this, and this. What do I feel like? How my body feel right now? Do I need to do stretches today versus yoga? I mean, not yoga, because one and the same, but just straight stretches. Like, I have back issues from a car accident. So if I need to just focus on that versus doing some form of exercise per se, then maybe I need to do that. So that's in my situation. As far as your situation, I have 3 cards for you. It has to match your spirit. Exactly. Exactly. What I have for you, this is like a Libra energy, even though this is air sign. So Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. Okay. So I have Queen of Swords, Knight of Swords, and Three of Wands. Right here, I immediately heard speak your truth. Okay. Go ahead and if you feel like that's what you need to do, you do it. You do the research. You go to that. Okay, you're a Gemini and Libra. Okay. You do the research. You honor yourself in that research. Like you go visit that area. If you specifically see some place that you're guided to, do the research as far as that area, the eateries to the social areas and all of that, and the price ranges of the rent there or mortgage or whatever. So then you can dream, get this vision together, like your vision board, however you may do your vision board. If you good with just envisioning it and leaving it there, or if you're better at writing or creating your own visuals, do so. And that's just like for as far as manifestation. But I'm hearing more so like a thing like your world is your oyster kind of idea. Usually I see that for the 2 of Wands, but I'm seeing it for the 3 of Wands for you. Okay. So if you have that a plan of expanding, this is the confirmation right here, the 3 of Wands, to explore, to travel, to look for a new environment that may be suitable for you. How do you resonate with heat? Do you prefer to be near water? How does your energy feel when you're in a mountainous environment? How do you feel when you get what I'm saying? You're very welcome. You're very welcome. But that's what I mean by that, as far as whatever is resonating with you at this time, the due diligence, that's the Capricorn energy, the Saturnian energy, the Saturn energy, to see, discover, plan, execute. You get what I'm saying? So yeah, any more questions? Let me know any more questions. And this is free, so I have a little time. I didn't want to be on here too long. You're very welcome. Do you go alone? Okay. And then once I do this, if you want, I can go on another live later on this week. Usually I was doing like the Thursday, Friday lives, but if you want me to go on live again, I can do the readings, and we can do that too. But do you go alone? I heard yes. I want to see what comes up. I heard this is your time. So I asked 3 times. This I heard. Okay. Okay, it's reconnected. Okay. This is a yes for me. This to me is a maybe. And this right here is like an indecisive energy, but I heard immediately yes. Some people would deem this as no, but I'm not getting that for this card. Truth is yes. Um The Hangman, I was getting a maybe. The Six of Cups, I was getting yes. I heard first before I even pulled the cards, yes, to go alone. And then Two of Swords. Two of Swords, I got an iffy kind of energy with this. Some people may deem this as a no, but I'm not getting that. That's your head energy? Okay. So again, the first thing I usually go with what I hear first and foremost, intuitively. So it may be something where you need to do something like a solo dolo trip. You know what I mean? You may some people want me to go with them. Because sometimes I'm gonna be honest with you, when you go with others, sometimes it can throw off the energy, especially when it's something that is meant for only you. People may complain, they be ready to go, they want to do extra sightseeing when you're trying to you have a purpose as far as your visit. You get what I'm saying, as far as travel or whatever, and they may throw off like the energy of what you set out to accomplish. But that's really up to you. But I'm getting a yes to go by yourself. Of course, have safety measures as far as letting people know, hey, like the ones that you cool with, like, hey, I'm going out of town, whoop de whoop, I'll be back. You know what I'm saying? Like keep people in the know. But yeah, because sometimes things open up for you when you're on your own. You discover different things and you meet different people. You know what I mean? You never know. Excuse me. You never know what may be in store for that. Okay, so just to let you know, I will be uploading this on IG as well as YouTube. So, because I've been going back and forth, back and forth. Just to let you know, it will be uploaded on the platform so that you can go back and reference it. I may do some channeled messages later on the week because the energy will be here. For a long duration of time. It's not something that you're very welcome. It's not something that will cut off like, okay, 3 days. Some energies are more impactful than others, if you follow. So with this Capricornian energy, I'm not getting like, okay, once the 3 days before and 3 days after transpire, then that's it. I'm feeling like there is going to be a lasting impression with this energy. Okay. So it's good to set your intentions to release some things no longer serve you. You know what I'm saying? Revisit some things. Like I'm just gonna be real with you. I'm gonna revisit my base chakra. I'm really going to look at some things in regards to my subconscious regarding my root because I do sense like there's some things that I can make some adjustments on. It feels like times are getting better. Indeed, even though like you see what's in the social climate, yes. Also, I want to mention to you, my son was playing with these last night. And these are like hematite like magnet balls I got from a trade show, a crystal trade show. And hematite is perfect right now. If you have some, get some. It helps with your energy, with grounding. I've mentioned this stone before, as far as like when people be on some BS and they say some stuff, that negative talk or whatever, and they try to penetrate your aura with that BS. That this will like slide off like oil, like the people's words will slide off your back like oil, like it won't even penetrate. It won't even do anything. And I'm feeling actually pretty good with this in my hand right now. So you may want to get some hematite for this time. Okay. So that's all I have. Thank you for coming in. I really enjoyed this time with you all. And I look forward to seeing y'all soon. Okay. Be well. Take care. Hi, YouTube. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for being there. I was answering questions on this end, but it's all good. I just saw 4444. I've been seeing 444. It's been crazy with the synchronizations or whatnot, or the synchronicities. But I really appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in. Be well. Take care.